Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick Procreate video. I know people are struggling with how to use it, and I've taken classes and done all kinds of things, and I've come up with a way that works for me, so you can try it out and see what you think. So we open Procreate and we open a file, and I usually use 8x8. If you're using a smaller iPad with less memory, you might want to use a smaller screen because that gives you more layers. So we'll do a quick overview. This is your pen. I like the pencil. That's my favorite for sketching, and I just use black. This is your layers, and the layers are your friend. You want to make sure you use them for a lot of different things. That's why it's good to have a bunch of layers that you can use so you can turn things off and on. So to get started, I will add a file, and on mine I have a bunch of different croquis on here, so we're just going to pick one and it will import it, and then you can scale it, and I tend to make it as big as I can get it because that works for me. And so you just put that on the page, and then you're going to add a layer over top of that, and then you can, let's just draw basically a tard. We'll do a nice scoop neck. Okay. And whoops. So 2 fingers deletes, 3 fingers puts it back. Well, okay. Sometimes my fingers aren't lined up because I'm holding a pen. Okay, so we're just gonna draw her real quick. I'm not gonna do a real detailed drawing because I'm just doing this for you all. And I tend to leave off facial details because I don't want it to look a certain way and then have somebody say, well, that's not what I look like. And also it's just easier to leave off the face. So sometimes I draw the feet, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go crazy and I draw ballet shoes or something. So once you get that, then that's what that looks like. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back on because I like these style lines. So if I wanted to do like a princess seam, it's nice to have these lines because that would be a princess seam. If you want to do a waistband, that would be where the waistband is. You can do an under bust, and now I have a 2-piece. Ta-da! So if I wanted to add color, I would add another layer, and then you can drag this to go underneath of what you've drawn so that your color will be underneath of your drawn layer. Okay, so we're gonna make this pink. Now for filler, I like the Studio pen. That's my favorite. You can use whatever you want. Oops. And so we're gonna draw in, we'll just draw in, oops, sorry, I'm getting text. We're just gonna draw in some color here. Okay, and you're like, oh, I don't want it to be pink, I want it to be purple. You can drag and drop the color just like that. Or I want the bottoms to be pink and the top to be purple. And you can drag and drop just like that. Okay, so we're gonna add another layer. I like to add skin color. That's an option. You don't have to, but I like, let's see, where's my palettes? So I have a bunch of palettes out here that some of them are useful and some of them aren't. So for drawing, this is a watercolor class that I did. I didn't teach it, I took it. And I got this even wash watercolor pen. And that's just kind of what I use for skin. And I also use it for mesh. And I just color it in like this. Scribble all over there. And then I like to darken it up where there would be shadows, like under your neck, maybe around your hairline, underside of your arm, your cleavage. Your hands are probably a little darker. And then I just go back and clean it up. This is the eraser. I just go back and clean this up like that. Ta-da! All right. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm going to turn that off. So this is what we've got so far. And so let's add some bling to it. There's a couple different ways you can do this. One is to use your studio pen, and let's say we're going to do blue rhinestones. We're going to add a layer, and you want to put it on top of your color. And we're going to, let's see how big we want our dot to be. There's this over here controls your size of the brush, and this over here controls the opacity, which is how dark or how sheer it is. So if you want sheer, you can use lower opacity. If you want it to be solid, use 100%. So sometimes I just dot some rhinestones on there. Say we're gonna just use some blue ones, and then you can add some white sparkle to it. That kind of gives you the idea, right? The other thing you can do, we'll clear that off, is you can just scribble. Doesn't that look like lace? It looks like lace to me. And then we can put one over here. And then we could add some rhinestones to that, which I would add that on a separate layer too, because so we can add some rhinestones to that. So there you go. There's a quick and simple Procreate process that I use, and hopefully that'll help some of you out there that are struggling.